Hello and welcome to our channel, Always Keep Moving. We are Anna and Kelvin, and 9 months ago we quit our jobs in Sweden. Since then we've been travelling around the world. Our journey so far has taken us through Latin America, Southern Africa, the Middle East and Southeast Asia. But now we are leaving Southeast Asia, heading to Taiwan, which is a great place where I used to live many years ago. After spending a few days there showing Anna where I used to live and the sights, we will be venturing into Nepal, trekking in the Himalaya, travelling through India, into the UK, before we eventually head back to Sweden.
Don't forget to watch our previous videos coming from 4 different continents and over 20 different countries. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Good morning and welcome to our last video from Taiwan. We are on the MRT heading towards the Taipei 101 building, undoubtedly the most famous building in Taiwan. And the reason for this is because until very recently it was the tallest building in the world, over half a kilometre high. Now, this particular building has a special little bit of a memory to me, because in 2006 when it was completed, on the 26th of May, which was the day of my 37th birthday, just before I was about to leave, I did a sponsored run up here, won it, I was the fastest one, and therefore for a very short period of time I held the world record. Okay, we're on our way, we'll see you when we get there.
For the escalator is somewhat there, and in true Taiwanese fashion, they're queuing up as orderly as you could possibly imagine. There's absolutely no chance of that happening in the UK. There'll be people pushing in left, right and centre. There you go, Taiwan, the land of following rules. Okay, we are exiting the MRT and going to the 101 building.
We are outside the Taipei 101. Kelvin just said it's the tallest building in the world.
When I lived there 18 years ago, actually it was just before I left Taipei, and it was on my birthday on the 26th of May 2006. It had only just opened, it had been open 2 or 3 months, it had been completed, and the Canadian Embassy were organising a run up the Taipei 101 building for charity. And I registered. I actually trained quite hard for it, I must admit, but I actually won it. I was the first one up to the top, did it in like record. So I was the world record holder for about 3 or 4 months. Then they had an official race, and then of course they battered me, yeah. And I was,
but you ran up in 12 minutes, what was it?
No, 16 minutes.
16 minutes.
Then a few months later, when they had it was an unofficial run, that's why it's not in the Guinness Book of Records. But when they had like a real championship up there, a real race for charity to get in the Guinness Book of Records, if I remember correctly, I think some Australian did it in like 12 minutes something, so I had no chance. They battered me.
Yeah.
But I had my 15 minutes of fame for a short while. Like, yeah. But it's going to be good to go up there again. I mean, the MRT is different. How it used to be was you got off the MRT about half a K away and had to walk up. Well, now you walked out and you're like, oh shit.
You're right on top of it, yeah. I know.
So, I mean, it's really cool to be standing at the bottom looking at the MRT.
All right.
So we're going to go inside and take a better look around once we're inside.
Yeah.
All right. So we're inside the 101 building, and well, the first few floors are just basically one big fancy shopping mall, yeah? As you can see, all the way down, all the fancy designer shops, De Beers, Tiffany, Patek Philippe, and all the others. De Beers even had a shop here selling diamonds. So it's an ultra expensive shopping mall. We're going up to the 4th floor, and that's the entrance to the tower going up. Okay, so it's super fancy, and we're going all the way up.
Yeah, really nice little touches, design, going up. Oh, Louis Vuitton. It's stylish as you can possibly get, really. Alright, so we're on the 4th floor and we're going into the observatory. Okay, and then we'll take the power lift up to the whatever floor, 80, whatever floor. I mean, I think when I did my run up here, it was 92 floors we did, and we didn't go quite to the top. So we're going to get in and see how far up we can actually go. Bit more expensive than I expected. It is 600 NT, which is pretty much $20 really, give or take. So a little bit more expensive than I thought, but we're gonna go up and yeah, we're here now. You never know if we're gonna get here again, so we're definitely gonna go take a look. Yeah.
Height, speed and time. 両サイドのモニターをご覧ください。そのエレベーターの高さ、スピード、時間、位置を表しています。양쪽 모니터를 보시면 엘리베이터의 층수, 높이, 속도와 시간을 보실 수 있습니다. 고마워입니다. 谢谢. 이사들과 달력 수배주의, 땡기. 인도달에 고자이마스. 도착하였습니다. 감사합니다.
아파요.
Okay, we have made it up to the Taipei 101. We are on the 89th floor, and when we came out of the elevator, we were unfortunately greeted by this. We are again up in the clouds. Yeah, so it's quite hard to see the city, unfortunately. You can see just the rough little contours of it. Yeah, so that's a shame, huh? But anyway, it's not so much you can do about it. You can't really control the clouds and the weather. So, oh, you can see how fast the clouds are moving as well. Wow. Yeah, but anyway, we made it up here, even though we can't see a lot, but we made it up here. We'll walk around up here a little bit and see if the clouds possibly clear a little bit while we're here.
Unfortunately, we can only show you from inside, as it's all a wee bit blurry out. And I'll walk around anyway and show you, so you kind of got a better idea of what to expect. But now there may be slightly clearer here, and you can see the clouds blowing over. And there's a big national stadium and and yeah, Chinese buildings down there. I'll try and zoom in. So yeah, now you can see a bit more clearly at the bottom. But and they're like 40-story high-rise, and we're just towering above them. I'll zoom out slowly and hopefully. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of a perspective of how high we are.
Even after experiencing these real animals in the wild, in the safari in Africa, Kelvin can't get enough of them. He found his friends here now again, up in the Taipei 101 building. Look at that lion roar. Ooh. Ooh, and the zebra, and the super tall little giraffe, the monkeys behind. Yeah, Kelvin looks quite comfortable there. Good.
So we've just seen one of the little sort of 3D interactive ones like we've seen in Vietnam. Now the mountains here are the Yang Min Shan, where we were with Steph on Saturday. But now as Anna scrolls round, you can sort of see the 360 panoramic
of what we would see if it was a
Yeah,
clear
so
blue
we were
sky.
up here.
So yeah, we was in that region, scanning around from here.
Taipei Arena, that's a Taipei Dome. What's that?
So when we was with Steph and we was on the mountain and we came down yesterday, on Saturday, we came to this area and that was a hot springs area. So it's more the back of that mountain and back, and Tien moves around this area here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know it looks a little bit confusing now, but if you was to see it from a helicopter view, Taipei's actually quite a small city. But because of the traffic and the sort of labyrinth type look it has with all the roads, it seems bigger than what it actually is. But if you've got a scooter and you can do the little back roads and avoid the traffic, you can get pretty much top to bottom in 30 minutes, as long as you're not unlucky with a traffic jam or whatever.
This is at the end of one of the metro
yeah,
lines, the
Taipei Zoo, yeah. I went there many years ago and yeah, it was okay, yeah. As clean and as efficient as you expect things to be in Taipei, really, so yeah. But yeah, at least you've had a little bit of a compensatory kind of scan around.
Now when we can't show it from...
Yeah, maybe this gives a little bit more perspective to how high we are. But you look down on that building, I'll zoom in a little bit, and as you can see, that's a massive building. But if I pull up, it's just towering below us. So that's probably a 60-story building and we're just looking down on the roof of it, like way below. Anna is taking a rest on a rabbit.
on a bunny.
Sitting on a small little bunny.
This is
And don't worry, they're not alive, so it's not a cruelty to animals thing. And then we've got the offspring, surrounded by flowers, coffee shops, and everything else you can possibly imagine.
Okay, so now it's time to go into the technical chamber and see how the world's tallest building can be built on a very highly active earthquake area that suffers from typhoons a few months a year. Let's see. And the reason is because of this. What's known as a tuned mass damper, which apparently weighs 660 tons. Now, this is, to put it very simply, the reason why this massive building was able to be constructed and has functioned totally well for the last close on 20 years. Now, the engineering team that constructed this were under massive scrutiny before, during and even after the project. Now, a building this size in a place as densely populated as downtown Taipei, I mean, if this fell, it could kill thousands of people and cause immeasurable damage. So they were under massive scrutiny, but in fairness, they proved everyone wrong, so fair play to them, you know. It was a perfect example of, what can I say, mankind overcoming nature, so to speak. So I mean, typhoons alone cause a massive problem here when they're quite, when it's a full-on typhoon. Earthquakes as well, a combination of both can be disastrous, but the engineering team proved everyone wrong, so fair play to them. Now, as you walk around this construction chamber, not only do you see this with your own eyes, but they have a little viewing chamber showing videos giving an explanation of how this works and giving little demos of people being stood there in a typhoon and seeing how much it sways. I forget the actual figures, but I think it's constructed to allow 20 centimetres each way of swayage without causing any harm. So that in itself is a bit freaky to see. And having lived here for as long as I did and experienced typhoons and earthquakes, I know and I fully appreciate how kind of eerie they can be. So absolute full credit to the team. They've done a remarkable job allowing us and all the other tourists to enjoy this fabulous building.
Okay.
We We are doing something that we haven't done in many years.
Postcard since probably since I lived there like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely since my mum died. I've never sent one. So
Today is my mom's birthday home in Sweden,
and
so
we've always sent a quirky little postcard.
Yeah, so we
even wrote it out.
yeah,
Proper blast from the past.
exactly. We bought a postcard from the Taipei 101, and now we're gonna put it on the postbox. Here we go, off to Sweden.
English postbox with Chinese.
Yeah.
You can't get more authentic than that.
Yeah, Mom and Dad, you have a postcard coming your way. We are wanting to get a little photo of the two of us in front of this nice little Taipei 101 in neon light with the little cloudy weather outside. It's cute though. They have all of these cute little environments built up all over here on the top floor.
So when you're leaving, you actually have to walk down a flight of stairs before you get the lift going down. And as I walk down and look at these stairs, it brings back the memories of when I ran up here all those years ago in 2006. So yeah, a little bit of a deja vu actually. And this was the thing, like, we wasn't allowed to use this to train, so I found a tower block actually in Tianmu, and it had 30 stories. It was the highest one I could find, but it had 2 stories lower into the basement, and then on the last one you could add an extra floor, so to speak. So it's 32 official, 35 in total. I used to sprint up, get the lift down, sprint up, get the lift down. I do it 3 or 4 times as part of my training. And that was just straight, one up change, one up. But here, because it was there, only 2 steps, then another 8 steps. Everything was out of sync. So your legs just wasn't geared up for the right kind of step sequence. So anyway, that's sort of my excuse for not winning, for only maintaining the world record for about a year instead of, well, I think it's actually less than a year, instead of setting the record. So that's an old man's excuse anyway. So okay, as we finished up in the Taipei 101 building, we get the MRT back to our hotel, and this building here is what's known as the Grand Hotel, which is a bit of a landmark and probably one of the most well-known hotels in Taipei. Okay, and now it's back to our hotel.
Okay, I'm outside our hotel, and I'm just gonna give you a little bit of a quick tour of the hotel that we're staying at here in Taipei. Alrighty, here we go. This is our hotel room. It's been more than fine. It's a quite big room actually. I'll see if I can make it a little bit. Yeah, it's a quite big room with a little big closet, so even a little sofa. Yeah, to see a very nice big double bed. Yeah, maybe not the absolute best view out of the window, but yeah, big TV with some digital cable channels, and nice little bathroom here as well. Bathtub, and they have one of them spacey little, they have a Japanese toilet here and they are very cool. They have a whole little keypad here with instructions on different things you can do with the toilet. We haven't tried so much of it because we can't understand what they're saying, even though the illustrations, I guess, say it all. But yeah, it squirts and blows and God knows what, heats. It's like a spa for your tushy. No, they are quite fun, these Japanese toilets. Even though we haven't really taken advantage of it. But no, a really good hotel here in Tianmu, Taipei, called the Noble Hotel. So if you're ever here, yeah, we can highly recommend this place. It's been very, very good.
For our last night in Taipei, we met up with my good friend Dave and his wife Belle. We went out for a nice dinner, and just relaxed and caught up with them before our flight the following day to Bangkok. So after big queues, we got checked in, we've been through immigration, we're heading towards the boarding gate, and Taipei Airport has had a little bit of a refurb. It looks so much newer, fresher and sort of inviting, shall we say, than it did previously. So yeah, okay. Typical Taiwanese, bang, just fix something, change it and do it in record speed. So yeah, in the last few years they've basically transformed the whole airport. Yeah, fair play to them. It makes life a lot more civilised and straightforward. Real high-tech security checks, but done with supreme efficiency. Now, it's probably arguably one of the most efficient airports I've ever been to. Really is 10 out of 10, really. Alright, anything new, we'll keep you checked in.
Okay, it's time to leave Taipei after only a flying visit here for 5 days. And we really wish that we would have had longer time. We've had a really great time here, especially visiting Kelvin's friends and him showing me around his old neighborhoods, his old home. So no, it was, even though the weather wasn't great, still had a really great time here. So 5 days felt a little bit too short, but hopefully we'll be back in the future again. And here's the queue now to our boarding gate. We are flying to Bangkok. So our flight tickets has been changed a few times. We were actually supposed to be flying via Kuala Lumpur, but then they changed it and it now happens and turns out that we're gonna have pretty much 1.5 or 2 days in Bangkok. So we are quite happy about that. We don't mind going back to Bangkok. So yeah, we're flying to Bangkok today and we'll show you more from there.